I don't believe that annuities, mutual funds, or real estate investments are providing the value that investors deserve, and I'm going to tell you why. So let me start with annuities. If you've seen anything that we do or heard anything that we do online, you would have figured out by now that we're not big fans of annuities. And then people will come to me and like, well, Mike, why aren't you a big fan of annuities? Everybody says, not everybody, but a lot of people are saying, hey, they're good, they're great, they're this, that, the other. To me, an annuity, it's not a good investment. And to me, an investment, the premise of an investment should be that you put money into the investment with the expectation to make money, and that investment should be better than other comparable investments in its own category. And so for me, annuities, I just have not seen a situation where the annuities are beating the other investment options that are available. What I have seen is salespeople that want to get commissions selling products promoting the annuities because they're getting paid and they're getting paid first. And some of these annuities, it depends on what they are. I'm not going to get into all the details, but there's variable annuities that people beat up on. But usually the people that are beating up on the variable annuities are the people that are trying to sell what's called a fixed indexed annuity. And it's just all this back and forth. There are what are called fixed or multi-year guaranteed annuities, a MIGA. Those are potentially interesting because it's just a fixed rate. But that's not what the industry is selling. What I see a lot of the time and what I see industry doing is trying to sell the fixed indexed annuity. And time again, it's sold not by everyone, right? I'm not going to make a blanket statement, but way too many times the sales representative who's promoting it is showing you sort of shiny objects on one side, stock market participation, no risk of loss. Okay, that sounds good. Guaranteed income for life sometimes. Well, okay, that sounds good. But what about the actual return on your money? An investment is something, again, I put my money in it. How much did my actual money grow? And the way that these products are working, in my experience, and a lot of the people that we're talking to experience, is their actual money isn't growing. So to me, that's a bad investment. If you put your money into an account and it's not growing very much while everything else is growing faster, but somebody comes back to you and says, well, don't worry about how much your money is growing. You're guaranteed income for life. Well, where's the income coming from? And the answer is on those fixed index annuities with guaranteed income for life, many times, if not all the time, we can't say all the time, that's a big word, but many times, it's just a return of your own principal. So if a company says, you give me your money, I'll give you 5% back for the rest of your life, and they're just betting that you pass away before your account value hits zero, that's not a very good investment. So we don't like the annuities. There are better investment options out there. To me, if somebody's promoting you an annuity, first of all, ask them why and what's in it for them. And then second, why aren't you showing me all of the other investment options that are available? Because if the idea is income for life, there are other ways to get income for life. If the idea is protection from stock market volatility, there are other ways to get protection from stock market volatility. There are plenty of investment options that a true fiduciary can show you. And in other words, somebody who's not taking a commission to promote a product, somebody who has a vested interest in you doing well, can show. So we don't like the annuities. And if you want to know why, just ask us why. We'll be happy to reach back out to you. Another investment option that we see out there quite a bit is real estate. Real estate can be great. I'm not against real estate necessarily, but when they package real estate into investment options, a lot of times people don't understand what they're getting into. And so we'll see these investments where they say, well, buy into this real estate investment. And then there's usually a percentage associated with it. Let's just say it's 8%. So buy into this real estate option and get 8% on it. Well, what they're not explaining to you is what is your protection. And there's sort of this implied protection that, well, it's real estate. And if things go wrong, you still own the real estate. But many, many times that's not the way that it works. So if you're going to invest in a real estate option, and if it has a distribution or if it doesn't have a distribution, you need to understand where you fall as an investor. If this real estate investment goes belly up, are you at the front of the line to get your money back, or are you at the back of the line to get your money back? Too often, I've seen cases where individuals feel like their money is protected because they're invested in real estate and they feel like real estate can never get to zero. But the way that the companies have, it's called leverage, but the way they've leveraged these positions and the amount of loans that they've done, if you're not in position when this company goes belly up to get your money back, if you're not at the front of the line, it's potentially a problem. And the other thing would just be mutual funds. Probably the least worst example, if there is such a thing. Mutual funds are just packaged. It's still a product, so it's a package. So if you buy one share of a mutual fund, then you're getting a lot of diversification. But that mutual fund company, doesn't matter who it is, they aren't doing it for free. So there's an expense. It's called an expense ratio. It's associated with that mutual fund. But the issue with the mutual funds is, all right, well, if you're working with an advisor that's promoting mutual funds, and there are still, it's kind of surprising. It's things have evolved into what are called exchange traded funds as opposed to mutual funds. But there are still companies out there that are promoting the mutual funds. Is it a bad investment? Again, it's relative. It's relative to the other investment options that are available to you. Would I put my money in a mutual fund? The answer is no. But the answer is no because I'm aware of the other investment options that are available. So if I just wanted diversification, if I wanted to own hundreds of companies in one share, I personally wouldn't do it through a mutual fund. I would use an exchange traded fund. But the reason I would use an exchange traded fund is because my cost to own that fund would be less than most of the mutual funds that are out there. Mutual funds also, they're very difficult to, difficult's the wrong word. They're not difficult to trade. They're restricted on the way that you trade them. So with most investments, people feel like, I bought this stock or I bought this position, and you want to be able to call up your financial advisor. You're going to be able to call up your broker. You're going to say, hey, listen, I want to sell that right now. The market's falling, or for whatever reason you pull it out. With a mutual fund, you can't do that. You can't pick the time that you sell it. You can pick the day that you sell it, but you can't pick the time or price because mutual funds trade at the very end of the day, whether you're buying it or selling it. So a lot goes into the investment options that are available to you. We don't like products. We don't like annuities. We don't like the real estate investments, particularly like real estate investment trusts or other investments out there in real estate that are sort of promoting returns without protection. And we're not big fans of mutual funds. And it's not because the other investment options are just inherently wrong. It's because if you compare those options to everything that's available, I don't believe you would actually choose it. You're going to, most people, if they're given all of the information, are going to choose the most efficient investment option. And that option is going to be the one that has the most liquidity, highest return net of fees, and the least amount of risk to get that return. And if you take a look at all of the options, I don't think you'll choose annuities, mutual funds, or real estate investments. Thank you for watching. Go to guardingyournestegg.com for your free and objective personal financial plan.